Hello, everyone. We switched it up a little. You got the B team for Lauren and Dan.
Hey.
Lauren has the B team today. Todd and Alex are going to hit the second half of Remake Learning Days with STEM. But today is a celebration of STEM, so we're doing this right. We're doing 2 dumpster talks for STEM. Lauren Miller.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for the energy you and the Steinman Foundation have brought to this community. STEM is on steroids lately.
Oh, that makes me feel so good to hear.
STEM is on steroids.
It is.
Think back. Let's talk about your journey.
Sure.
How long have you been involved?
Sure, great question. So I feel like I was always a STEM-minded student. Like I can remember participating in the science fair as a kid. I remember doing like science experiments, engineering things. I loved taking things apart and figuring out how they worked from a really young age. So I feel like I always was like a STEM kid. Just loved that kind of stuff, knew I wanted to do that for a living, and became a science teacher.
Okay.
And so I feel like my whole life and my whole career have really been around building others and really building a STEM community here.
Wow. So the science teaching, you stepped out of that,
Yep.
loved that.
Yes.
Stepped out of that, and then take us through the rest of the progression of your career.
Sure. So I loved being in a classroom. I loved having my group of students, but I always just kind of wanted to do more, improve my impact. And so I always loved working with adult educators and helping just make them the best and most impactful they could in their own classroom. So I took a leap out of the classroom and joined IU13 as I think my very first job title was like a curriculum coach for STEM. Okay. And that was just the best job. I got to work directly with teachers, work with our schools. I helped them build STEM programs. This was like 15 years ago, before STEM was even really like the thing it is now. And so I can remember going into classrooms and talking about STEM, and people are like, "You mean like projects and posters?" And yeah, that's the gist. And so I feel like over the last 15 years or so, we have really built STEM programs in all of our public schools, our non-public schools. We have higher ed programs now focused on preparing STEM educators. So it's really exploded in our community in such an awesome way. And then I had the privilege over the last 3 years of leading the Lancaster County STEM Alliance. And for those of you that aren't familiar, the Steinman Foundation in Lancaster has just so generously sponsored this initiative, where it really allows me to provide grant funding to organizations doing STEM programming. It allows me to do teacher workshops, provide resources and materials to in-school and out-of-school STEM providers. Like, that has taken our STEM community to the next level.
So I want to speak to that. So
Please.
the first time I was involved was at E-Town College.
Yes.
We had Workforce 2030, which
Yeah.
seems so far away. 2030 is like
It's
now.
here.
It's kind of here, but that's how we started. And as a business, I was taken aback. I'm like, oh my gosh, they want us. And we're starting to build that community. And as we've had 3 of these, I believe, that they've gotten better each time.
Thanks.
The grant process has gotten better. We were part of selecting the winners last time.
Yep.
I just talk to me a little bit about what you need from businesses, because for our business, it has been nothing but gratitude for STEM and Steinman, because you have brought us into the ecosystem and we have gotten to kids so much earlier and so much better because of you.
Oh, that's so kind. And I want to give the same kudos back to you, because we need more business leaders like you that see the importance of getting involved in the STEM ecosystem, not just because it is a return on investment for your
it's
business,
huge.
but also because it's just a good community service. It makes us all better. So to kind of backtrack, so we started, the STEM Alliance started sponsoring, I shouldn't even go back a step further. We believe that, like, to truly have relevant STEM education, we need the business at the table. So many of us, and I'm speaking for myself as a former science teacher, my whole career was teaching science. I never actually worked outside of the education field. And so if we want true, like, authentic, relevant learning opportunities, we need the business to help us know, what does that look like. And so I really, we started bringing business and education together through these events called the Workforce 2030 Summit. This past year, thank you for saying they keep getting better.
Oh, they
because we
do.
keep tweaking them. This past year, we had over 260 people from business, education, nonprofit, government, together in the same room for a whole day, talking about what's authentic learning. What is STEM education? What do STEM skills look like in the workforce? How can education prepare students for a STEM workforce? It was just the best. And I love that you said that you like the grant process.
Oh.
That's my favorite. So every year.
Oh, it's great.
Oh my gosh. Because the ideas are flowing, we want to say, like, how do we take that full day of excitement and keep it going? So we started idea incubator grants. So every year at the summit, we give out $100,000 in grant funding, and we let our community vote on which ideas we think need to move forward with that funding support. And so, yeah, we're actually moving from bringing people together, talking about best practices, to actually putting the resources behind making it happen. But again, if the business isn't at the table helping to inform that, the education system isn't as relevant as it could be.
Bingo.
And our whole system kind of falls apart.
Bingo. And I will say, I think business is actually the laggard of all of it, because what you have built with the Lancaster Chamber, with workforce development, you have Anna, Heather, you have CRL.
Yep.
That infrastructure is very, very strong and very coherent. And I can feel that working together. We have businesses like who we'll hear from next, Precision Cobotics with John. They're probably a national model for how this should work.
Yeah.
We're on a small scale. They're a national model. What can we do? It's the eternal question.
Yeah.
What can we do other than letting businesses know how good this is for them? How else can we encourage business?
I want to start by saying, like, there's so many entry points. So I think sometimes it can be intimidating for a business because they may hear a story about, like, what you're doing here or what Precision Cobotics is doing and thinking, there's no way my business could do that.
Right.
And so I just want people to know that you can enter at any level and it is still so impactful. So we have some businesses that are stepping up and just spending 1 hour of their life sitting with a group of teachers talking about how what their teachers are teaching applies in their business.
Good.
It is transforming what learning looks like for that teacher. Super simple, 1 hour. We have tons of different networking events where you can connect and share. We have lots of volunteer opportunities. I mean, honestly, you could just dip your toe in, or you could dive into this ecosystem full circle. So.
Well, let's talk about one opportunity that's today.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, you've made this so big. I have been hounded by 4 different school districts to come, and I can only be in one place. Now, we're trying to get our people out there.
Yeah.
We're hosting an event here with Penn
love it.
Manor. I'm going to be in Columbia, but talk about STEM Remake Learning Day.
Oh my gosh, we are super pumped that finally Lancaster is participating in Remake Learning Days. So this is actually an international festival. So
Didn't know that.
I know, see? International festival where it's just communities open their doors to families to engage in hands-on learning. And it can look any way. And so the Lancaster community and some of our neighboring communities have really rallied. We had over 100 events this year. Like, it's so cool.
It's
and
awesome.
so we have businesses, we have education organizations, we have nonprofits just opening their doors anytime during the month of May to host some sort of activity that will engage families in meaningful learning.
Beautiful.
Tell me about yours. What are you guys doing?
Well, we have Penn Manor here for a tour. Similar to what we do on Earth Day, we do monthly tours.
Love it.
And just like you said, the easy entry points.
Yeah.
It's working with workforce development to have the teachers come in and see.
Yep.
We have the biggest geek from Elko, Jim. I forget his last name. He was here last year.
I love
He
it.
saw my metal analyzer and he wanted to buy
love
one.
it.
It's not in Elko's budget. We're not giving them a grant for a
I was
metals
gonna say.
analyzer, but I let him use mine. He brought kids in this week, and we went through. We were gunning metal, hitting metal, and they were seeing all the elements. The kids know the periodic table cold,
Oh, Dan.
and this is what we want.
Yeah.
We want kids to see. All right, you might think this is a boring chapter that means nothing, but there's a scrapyard in
Yep.
Columbia that people need to know the periodic table to make
love
money.
it. Yes.
Isn't that what we want?
Yes, it's funny. I laugh because the whole concept of Remake Learning Days is that everybody in a community has something to teach. Everybody. And we don't even realize what we have to offer.
I didn't know that was anything.
Yeah. And so I just think it's so cool. You never know that moment, that experience, that person that just totally changes the trajectory of a student's life.
Absolutely.
Like, they may not know that job exists. They may connect with a person who inspires them. They may see something they didn't know was possible. And that split moment,
Yep.
life-changing.
It is life-changing. You as a teacher, I feel the passion still.
Ah.
You're still in the classroom. How do you get that? How do you get that glimmer in your eye
Yeah.
when you're connecting people? How do you still get that?
Um, I think, oh, that's a tough one. I think just making a connection, seeing an impact, making like something possible that I didn't think was possible, like that just fuels my soul. I think when I see a student and all of a sudden something clicks for them,
Hmm.
there is magic in that. When I see two community members meet and realize that they have a common interest and together they could build something beautiful, that fuels my soul. Like, I love Lancaster right now. I think we are
Yeah,
killing it when it comes to
we are.
collaboration. I can't wait to see where we are in 2030.
That's beautiful. When you go to national
Yeah.
conferences and things, tell me how we are
Oh,
perceived.
I love that question. We are seriously rock stars in Lancaster.
Are
I
we?
get like stopped and people are like, tell me what the secret sauce is. What is
Mhm.
going on in Lancaster? And I'm like, we are like the Goldilocks because we're the right size. We have an engaged business community. Our education organizations are phenomenal. We have higher ed. We have nonprofit. Like everybody seems to want to work together.
Yep.
And I wish I understood the secret sauce.
I think
Maybe
the
you know
secret,
it.
so I do know it. I actually do know it. It's that those leaders are willing to give
Yeah.
and not hoard.
Yeah.
If you hoard your contacts,
Yeah.
it won't work.
Yeah.
But you're all willing to give. That's the difference.
Oh, I love that.
It's
Thank you.
true. I think it's what leadership in the Lancaster community modeled by foundations like the High Foundation, like the Steinman
Yeah.
Foundation. If their model is about giving,
Yeah.
since they set the giving top down, I think it goes to all of us. I think that's true here.
Yeah, and I think we have some amazing business leaders like yourself that have modeled that you can give back to the community. It doesn't hurt your bottom line.
No, it helps it.
strengthens yes, it strengthens your business. It builds employee engagement. So giving back and helping in the community, regardless of how big or small your organization is a win-win. And so I think thank you for sharing
No,
your
it's-
story and inspires others to want to get involved.
Well, we want others. We need
Yeah.
to make our
Yeah.
community bigger.
Yeah,
I want to
agreed.
pivot a tiny bit.
Sure.
I've noticed, and you've helped me notice, Earth Day sustainability
Yeah.
is really a huge piece of Steinman and STEM.
Yes.
I walk right behind my house. I have the path on the Little Conestoga,
Oh, nice.
and what your organization
yeah.
is doing on that. Can you talk a little bit about that project? You may not
Sure.
know all the specifics, but
Sure.
I noticed right away. I was like, "Whoa, that looks different."
Yeah.
What's going on
Oh.
with initiatives like that?
Sure. I'll try to stay in my lane with what I know. 'Cause
Oh,
my-
you're in lane. Oh, I've seen you drive. You go in a lot of
I
lanes.
did follow him right here into sod metal
From
recycling
Sheets.
from Sheets.
from my coffee.
Where was I going with this? Oh, so okay, so I guess the backstory is the Conestoga House was a family residence of the Steinman Foundation for years.
Okay.
They sold the property several years ago, and in that realized that the little Conestoga that was running through the property was impaired.
Mhm.
So that became just a topic of interest for the foundation. And so they spent quite a few years doing some research and development with Franklin and Marshall, PhD level
Mhm.
faculty and students to really figure out like what can we do to make an impact on the little Conestoga, knowing that that's a tributary that has such a big impact on the Conestoga, the Chesapeake Bay,
Sure.
and honestly has a huge impact on our region. And so they took the land that's across from the Conestoga House is where they really began, and they started a restoration project. And they had people from land studies, Franklin and Marshall
Mhm.
College, really doing some state-of-the-art research in, how do we improve the quality? And I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to just say the
Yeah.
vocabulary word. Please Google it if you're listening to this. But they really have uncovered this issue with legacy sediment.
Okay.
We had mill dams all throughout Lancaster County back in the day, and when we settled, and those mill dams have built up lots of sediment. That's really a huge part of the problem with that restoration of the Little Conestoga.
I see.
So they're removing the legacy sediment. They're planting native plants. They're trying to get it back to its original state. And what's interesting is I've lived in Lancaster my whole life. I live on the Conestoga right now, and in my mind, a healthy river has steep banks and clear water. And what I'm quickly learning is that is not a healthy
Right.
watershed. And so we're really trying to use the Little Conestoga Creek project as a learning environment too. So this is the restoration is going
Oh,
to take years.
it's not just
Oh,
anything that you guys touch is going to have education,
Oh, thanks.
business, community.
Oh, I'm so
That's going to
glad.
be the lab.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the labs,
Yeah.
I would say.
It's funny, speaking of Remake Learning Days, we have teachers there that are going to be doing some educational research on the site, and then they're going to be building lesson plans connected to the field site. So, yeah, we really hope it becomes a living laboratory, is what
That's
we're calling
beautiful.
it. Thanks.
Last question I'm going to
Yes.
ask you, and I could spend all day with
Thank
you.
you.
Last question I'm going to ask. Can you give us a little background on what John has built at Precision Cobotics? Because we're going to hear from
Yeah.
him next. Just give your overview of it. I mean,
Sure.
all I know is it's amazing. So you color that one in.
Sure. I mean, I'm so glad that I get to kind of pitch that, and it's a blessing to all the listeners to get to hear his story. So several years ago, he had pitched a grant. It was actually through the Workforce Summit, the Idea Incubator Program.
Oh, so this is only 3, 4
He would
years?
have to clarify, but it's pretty
Okay.
fresh. Like he
Okay,
has done
yeah.
a lot
For that time
in a
frame,
short
it's
time
crazy.
period. But he had coached a Lego robotics team for his kids, and he said, we have this issue where we get kids super pumped about STEM, but they're using things that aren't relevant or like authentic to what an actual STEM career might use. And he said, but my problem is he's a president of a robotics and automation company. He said, I can't have high school kids come work on my field because of insurance and liabilities. I have all of these R&D projects that customers are looking for me to automate, and I don't have the capacity to do it. What would it look like if we solve a whole lot of problems by partnering with a local university? So they partner with Millersville University. What if we create a robotics lab with the same robotics equipment he's using in his company? And what would it look like if we have college students and high school students working on the real R&D problems that my company is getting and we don't have the capacity to work on? So we're giving kids authentic problems, we're connecting them to career pathways, and we're like giving them an amazing internship experience. And so I will let him share the rest
Yeah.
of the outcome of that, but it's a simple concept of a business, education, K-12 and higher ed partnership, and it has exploded to something I never thought possible.
Absolutely. And it all started with giving.
Yep.
It started with selfless
Yeah.
giving, and he has built a recurring pipeline of
Yep.
employees that
Yes.
he is winning like by far.
He is changing lives. Every student that participates in that program is building confidence. They're building career pathways. They're building their own network before they graduate from high school.
Correct.
And they're getting jobs at companies like Toyota. I mean, it's like a dream.
What's the loss there?
There is
There's
no loss. And his company is solving some R&D problems that his staff didn't have the time to do. So it is like solving so many amazing problems, and it's been a win for his business as well as the participants.
Well, that last question wraps up everything you're about.
Aw.
Community,
Thanks.
building us all together and making us better as a group.
Aw.
Thank you for your passion. Thank you
Aw.
for your time. And let's celebrate Remake Learning Days.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, Lauren.
Bye.